on this episode, the 10-minute walkcast. I want to apologize in advance. The audio is a little bit loud because I was driving in the car. Note to self, I will not do that again. The background noise is just really loud, so please bear with me on this one. It's really good content. Have a listen. We're talking about sleep. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hybrid Life 10-minute walkcast. I am calling it the walkcast for now until I can come up with a better name. Today, a little bit what's going on. I went and saw the movie A Quiet Place last night. Dude, it was phenomenal. An absolutely brilliant original story plot line to a movie. Basically, people, something happens, you don't really know what happens, and there's these aliens on Earth that can do nothing but hear, and they have like 50 million times hearing, but that's all they can do is hear. So you cannot make any noise. If you make any noise, you're fucking toast. I'll just put it to you that way. I know it's a weird description of the movie, but the movie was kick-ass. John Krasinski wrote, directed, produced, and starred in it. He is turned into a A-plus guy, A-plus entertainer. His wife, Emily Blunt, is the co-star in the movie with him. She is on the first team all-dime piece because, one, she could act, and two, she is not too bad looking, if I might say so myself, but she is awesome in the movie. Basically, it's a five-person cast, 3 kids and 2 people. It's unbelievable. Anyway, go check it out. You will have anxiety from the minute the movie starts to the minute the movie ends. It's freaking awesome. So that's that. Well, let's get into today's topic. We're going to talk about sleep. I've had more response to what people are interested in when it comes to sleep than anything else. So I'm going to go into more detail into a long form podcast about sleep, but in 10 minutes I can give you a really good breakdown of things you can do to actually immediately fix and help your sleep out. So let's see. One thing I'll do is I'll go through my routine, my daily routine as far as sleeping goes, and then I'll give you some tips on how you can fix it, fix what's going on with you. I have been studying sleep and how important sleep is for the better part of the last, I'd say, 2 to 3 years. Intensively 2 years. I've been looking into it for about 3 years. So, you know, back in the days when everyone was like, oh, you'll sleep when you're dead, you know, I don't need to sleep, I won't run on adrenaline, blah, blah, blah. That's all, you know, bravado bullshit that if somebody tells me I don't need sleep, I automatically think they're an idiot because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, sleep is number one important. If you go through our questionnaire with Hybrid Fit Club, one of the first questions is, how much sleep do you get? 7.5 hours, give or take a half an hour on a daily basis, 1 or 0, and what do you think your average amount of sleep per week is? If it's not 7 hours or more, we have problems. One, it's gonna jack up your hormones, and listen, there's outliers to everything. There are certain people that are disposed, hereditary and metabolically, to not need that much sleep, but they are the less than the 5%. So I never talk in terms of those type of people. But people in general need 7 hours. Well, I'd say 7.5 hours, give or take a half hour. So 7 to 8 hours every single night. Me personally, I go to bed at 9 o'clock. I go to bed, in bed at 9. I'm hopefully asleep by 10, and I get up at 10 to 5. So I get about 7 hours a day 7 to 7:15, but then I also sleep extra on the weekend, so I get 8.5, 9 hours every weekend. So my average for the week is well over 7 hours, and I still would like to get close to 8, but it's just hard for me to go to bed at 9 and fall asleep at 9. That's it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I fall asleep by 9:15, 9:30. Sometimes it takes me till 10. Just depends on the day, what day of the week it is. Thursday, Friday, I hit the bed. If my head hits the pillow, I'm out. Earlier in the week, not so much. But so I'll go through my routine starting at night. So I'm keto during the day, carbs after 5 o'clock. My biggest meal of the day is my last meal. It's very carb heavy. I'd say roughly 200 to 300 carbs in my last meal, grams of carbs in my last meal. From there, I chill out, watch TV, hang out with my family, and then I try and do minimum 5-minute deep breathing exercises. Basically, it's just inhale from 5 to 7 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale for 5 to 7 seconds. And I try and do that for 5 minutes or longer. Take a shower. It's always a fairly hot shower. And then the last 2 minutes of my shower, I crank it all the way to as cold as it gets. Again, working on deep breathing. This by far has been the number one thing that's helped my sleep more than anything. My background was, before that, going to bed 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, never getting sleep, sleeping too late because I was sleep deprived. It ruined everything. I felt like shit. Doing this, it's been a good 2 years since I've been going to bed early, getting sleep, getting adequate sleep. I feel 100 times better. I'm rarely tired. My energy levels are usually fairly good. Later in the week, they get run down a little bit, but I think that's simply because of my training schedule and things like that. But yeah, so I crank as cold as can be, 2 minutes or more, and then I try. This doesn't really work for me, and I know it works for a lot of people. I try to shut off electronics for 30 minutes or longer from my last, before I go to sleep. People say 60 to 90 minutes. I mean, I'm trying to be realistic here. Most people love their phone, hard to detach from their phone. So doing it 30 minutes and working up from there, I think is a good barometer to do. So that is something that really works. Now, as far as optimal sleeping conditions, and this is a fact, this is pure science. This is not my opinion. The room temperature when you're sleeping should be between 69 and 73 degrees. Those are optimal sleep settings. One, a little bit on the cooler side, can tend to boost your metabolism because your body is working to stay warm. And two, cooling and being in covering yourself with blankets gives you a more comforting feeling that will help you sleep deeper. All right, so that's, we're set at 69. People get cold when they come and visit. I'm sorry, that's the way it's got to be. You're gonna have to deal with it. Use more blankets. So that, and blacken the room up as much as you possibly can. So me personally, any sliver of light, I'm a light sleeper, will wake me up, drives me crazy. I wear an eye mask. That eye mask was a friggin' game changer. As soon as I got that, I stopped waking up from lights and stuff. So our room is really dark. We have, our blinds are good and stuff like that. But I suggest figuring out ways to make your rooms as dark as possible that you're sleeping in. And then ambient noise works for me. Some people it's not good for. I like ambient noise, so a fan, ceiling fan, and there's a great app called Brain FM that has ambient noises that can help you get into a deeper sleep. I've used that, it works well. So that's that. I wake up in the morning. I do not jump out of bed, and I do not hit the snooze. Ever. I wake up naturally, but I do have an alarm in case I don't wake up naturally. But either way, I stay awake. I lay in bed for about 5 to 10 minutes. Get up naturally. I don't just jump up and get all crazy and rush around. I get up naturally, do what I gotta do, get ready. If you have the time for a shower in the morning, do the same thing. So warm, normal shower, last 2 minutes, freezing cold shower. It sucks in the beginning. Once you get the breathing in check, it will invigorate you and wake you up for the day. From my shower, I do 2 to 5 minutes of breathing exercises, or if you want to call it meditation. I can't meditate yet. I'm not there yet, but I will. I will someday eventually get into that way of being able to do that. And then I do something like high knees or jumping jacks or something like that to get going. I try and do my 10-minute walk before I leave for the gym. If that doesn't happen, I just drive. I have my normal drive, but I also continue my deep breathing in the morning on my morning commute to the gym. No music, just driving and trying with my seatbelt on. I try and use it as like a weight belt, and I try and breathe into my seatbelt on my way to the gym. And get that going, and that has worked really well. Oh, I forgot one more thing. Sorry. 8-ounce glass of water, room temperature, a pinch or 2 of pink sea salt, and lemon juice, and you chug that. That's a great way to get your morning started. I don't eat breakfast personally. I intermittent fast, but if you're going to eat breakfast, you can do a lot of these things while breakfast is being prepared. All right? So that's my morning routine. I would suggest, and that's what most people say is the best way to do a morning routine. I suggest starting with stuff like that and seeing how that goes for you, seeing how that works, and go from there. There's a lot of other things and techniques that can help you sleep, but if you start with those 3, it's bad to overwhelm yourself with a lot of minutia, and if you start thinking of too many things, it's going to make your sleep worse. So, we're a little over 10 minutes, but that's okay. Try those things out. Let me know what you think. If you guys have any of your own nighttime, bedtime, morning routines, let me know what they are. Let me know if they work, what works, what doesn't work. And I'll even try myself. Like I said before, I am a human guinea pig for my listeners, my members. I try everything out on myself to see how it works with me, and then if I like it, or even if I don't like it, I will pass it on to all of you. So thank you for listening. As always, have a great day. Keep an eye out for the rest of our stuff, and we will talk to you later. See ya!
If you ain't first, you're last. That's what she said.